This may appear white or clear on camera, but it is a rose quartz. Rose. And I've been staring at this for a significant amount of time. And I've been concentrating on the fractures on the inside, or veins. And I'm thinking to myself just how beautiful it is. When I first got this crystal, it didn't have as many veins. It didn't have as many fractures. It was almost clear and much more vibrantly pink. And with light exposure, time, energies, salt, dehydrates, as the crystal begins to lose the moisture, the internal moisture, it begins to fracture internally. And there's some chips here and there. I think most of them were already there prior, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And the more imperfections it has internally, the more beautiful I personally believe it gets. I know it's an impurity and financially of lesser value than a more clear one, but it is beautiful, which got me thinking about this book that a therapist I had once upon a time. Not because I don't need any more therapy, I just stopped seeing that particular therapist because of insurance. It's because of insurance. She was great. She recommended this book. Is there some parts of yourself that you wish would go away? Most of us would say yes, whether we call it addiction, the inner critic, monkey mind, neurosis, sinfulness, bad habits, or some other disparaging name. Yet what if there was a different way of approach these aspects of yourself that leads to true healing instead of constant inner struggle? With no bad parts, Dr. Richard Schwartz teaches a revolutionary paradigm of understanding and relating with ourselves, a method that brings us into inner harmony, enhances self-compassion, and opens the door to spiritual awakening. Sounds a lot to me like working with our shadows and alchemizing our emotions and our energies. Getting to know your shadows, your deeper self, rather than just pushing away the parts you don't like. Right? I think that's the whole point of my channel, or at least that's my goal. I'm awake past my bedtime because I am practicing alchemizing my frustration and anger at the current moment. I should be reading this. I only just started it. But it's also come as a great recommendation, and I do highly recommend it to anyone. In the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz reveals the source of self-limited beliefs that rob us of joy and create needless suffering based on ancient Toltec wisdom. The Four Agreements offer a powerful code of conduct that can rapidly transform our lives to a new experience of freedom and true happiness. Again, it seems like a running theme. I've had this book for years. This one I bought more recently. But I think these are teachers, scholars, that sometimes use better vocabulary than I choose to. If you need a more grounded guide, sometimes all of the cards can seem, and the crystals can seem very mystic and out there. And sometimes we do need to ground ourselves in the 3D. And I think these are two great recommendations and examples of that. So if you haven't read either one of those, I suggest you check one, if not both, out. What am I doing to alchemize my anger right now? I'm turning it towards this. Instead of complaining about being awake longer than I should be, because I'm going to wake up inevitably early, instead of complaining and whining and moaning and just being frustrated about the whole situation, I decided to make a video. Shit, I'm learning, I'm working with all of this just like everybody else is. Everybody's practicing at the same time. The collective, right? Collective healing. So instead of being frustrated that the medical supply company has not brought a new suction machine for my medically complex son, even though I've been on the phone with them since 8 o'clock this morning and it's after 11 p.m., and this child likes to wake up at 6:20 on the dot every day. I don't know how he does it. I'm here with you all, sharing my limited wisdom. But again, you just reroute. What can you do with this anger? What can you do with this frustration? What can you create out of this moment? So this is what we've created. A lecture, apparently. Or rant. Take it as you want. If it resonates, it does. If it doesn't, oh well. Good night.